Hello, I'm Wafflestick, and welcome back to my Minecraft survival series here on 1.11. And I've got a pretty big announcement to make today. We are naming the server. Yes, the server is going to be named the WayStone because I simply do not want people referring to the server as my server. I mean, it is my server, but I don't want it to be all about me. I want it to be more about the experience of the player. So definitely we had to throw that in there, and I thought that was a neat little improvement. And also, I have implemented one-player sleep cycles into the server so that when people are AFK, they don't have to worry about the night cycle. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started with today's episode. I have some pretty big plans. We're going to go over to my other base and make a storage system. Yes, a fully automated storage system. So this is going to require quite a bit of iron. I have to go down here in dangerous territory. Take out the zombie. Oh, come on, zombie. That's right. And we have quite a bit of iron. I'm just going to go ahead and take a few stacks of this. Not really sure how much that's going to take. But since there's not really a whole lot, I'm going to take as many stacks as I think I'll need. Because I don't want to make it too big, but I don't want to make it too small either as far as the storage system goes. And also, we need to gather some wood, but I'm going to probably do that in my other base because we have plenty of woods over there. So let me go ahead and get over there and we'll get started. Now that we do have Haste 2 active, we need to go ahead and start mining out an area. And I have decided that I want to do my storage system up here because, well, there's not really much room downstairs. I have my beacon in the area. I kind of wanted to do it and I didn't really think about it, and I really like my beacon there. So I've decided, hey, we can always make an item elevator. It's not like our farms are like super efficient and they're like making massive production levels or anything like that. But I'm just going to dig this area out. Thankfully, it's going to go pretty fast once we do get past all of this gravel that's falling. Oh, it's so treacherous. I think I have the worst luck of anyone with gravel. Like, gravel is my worst enemy, and I feel like I'm probably one of the most unluckiest people when it comes to this sort of thing. So I'm just going to keep going. I think I'm going to go about this far. Forge my storage system, maybe a little bit further because we might need a little bit more room, who knows, and we might want to do something with this room. But it's going really fast because we do have that Haste 2 and Efficiency 5. This is going to be a piece of cake. To get this room nice and cleared out, I think the challenging part is decoration. What am I going to use for decoration? I'm not really sure yet. Maybe something a little bit on the cheaper side because I still have yet to find a mesa biome to get hardened clay. And that's going to be very important as far as getting cyan stained clay and those consistent decorations up here. But I have been using some other decorations in this area over here. So I may go with something like that. But as of right now, it's just steady moving, one step at a time. So I have got done with my room. And I must say, it's a nice hefty size, nothing too big. And it's also not too little. It's going to be a nice support size. And if you guys are not familiar with how storage systems works, which I'm sure you are, there's probably just a few people out there who haven't really meddled with it much. It requires a ton of hoppers. And as you can see, I'm out here mining wood. And I must say, it is grueling. It's very grueling. But don't worry, I'm not going to be the one to leave this on camera. So guys, I will see you here in a minute. And I believe that will at least get us started. Let me go ahead and head back to base. If I can get a good elytra launch here. There we go. Up in the sky and through our good old base here. Okay. I about made it. So I do have quite a few pieces of wood here. Go ahead and get those in my hotkey bar just so I know where everything is. And wow, this is actually pretty good. The only thing is we do have some remaining invis blocks, which I thought I got really lucky and didn't have any. But you know how it is. These things pop up when you least expect it. And you must hate these things because, oh, how could you like invis blocks? You get stuck on them. You can get smothered in them. And yeah, this is a pretty big area. I mean, it's not anything super crazy. But we do have our beacon ultra right below us, so that's going to be maybe a little bit awkward to work with. There is some lava there, and when I first seen it, I was a little bit surprised and wondering why there was lava at this Y level, but we are good to go. Let me go ahead and start crafting up a bunch of chests. We now have 2.5 stacks of chests, and I must say that probably won't get us as far as we think it's going to get, because this is a grueling project. This is one of those projects that you get so burned out on, and holy cow, I better not have lost my shulker there. Oh, thank you. I don't know why I've been lagging on the server here and there, but here we go. It's time to get started on this project. Oh, the long-awaited storage system. The long-awaited storage system. And I am double jumping, but this is currently the next day. And I have been doing some work on my storage system, as you can see. But that really isn't the best part. I actually dug one more layer just to see where it went. And check it out. We are right next to our outside area, meaning that we can implement a window here, which would look really awesome with this storage system. I didn't even expect this. I thought I was maybe a few blocks out before I did hit the actual surface out here, but that is looking really lovely. It's going to look nice. I'm going to put probably some diorite here. I know some people don't like diorite, but I think it looks really good with window panes and things of that sort. And to make it look a little bit more inviting and clean, I'm thinking about using white stained glass. So I'm thinking that's going to look pretty good. But as far as my storage system, I've got some of it implemented. Let me jump up here so I can kind of show you where I am. I was just sitting here looking at maybe what some of the design prospects would look like. But down here we have our hopper system on both sides, on that side as well, for our 2 rows of chests down there. And I've still got to implement the rest of these chests, and it looks like I have to go on another wood run because I'm almost out of chests. I have quite a few trap chests, which I think will be enough for that side, but I've got to get some regular chests. So let's go ahead and get cracking with that, and we should have the main structure pretty much complete. So you may be wondering, why in the world are you sitting in the enchantment room? And that's because I went over to the mob farm to get some bone meal to dye my stained glass up top. But I have found Pickle's stuff. He had died and dropped a bunch of stuff, so I have his whole collection right here, including his elytra. I actually went into the end off camera and got him one again because I know how Pickle is. He doesn't like the end much, and I just thought I'd do it for him. But I have been working on the storage system a little bit. I now have an item transportation system that's going to be carrying our items from our farms up to our storage system. And this is the design I have went with. I went with some cyan stained glass because I have plenty of bone meal now that I can make this stuff, and it's relatively simple. Some lapis, some bone meal, and then also some cactus dye. And this is looking really good. I'm thinking that's going to go straight up into the middle of our storage system, which I don't know how that worked out, because I had just randomly dug this and it somehow came out to be perfectly straight and even. So that was really weird how that worked out. I was just going to plan on putting the item sorter somewhere out here, the item elevator, and just having it go up and then through the wall or something. But I'm thinking it looks pretty cool out here so we could see our production from outside. And it looks like I need to dig up a couple more blocks here just so I can get out here. But I'm thinking it looks pretty good. As far as it matching with our dye and stained clay, I'm thinking that fits in there quite well. I'm going to go upstairs and show you guys what it looks like, and then I've got to actually do some work as far as all of the item collection and how it operates. As you can see, I have my AFK gate there, and this is pretty much what we're working with. I put a bunch of glass right here, and this is where it's going to come up. In the center there, I don't know if that's going to play badly with all the chests. I don't think it's to be too rough. And I do have some glowstone under these slabs, keeping it nice and lit. Thinking that looks pretty good. The texture looks a little bit odd with the lighting. That's why you see maybe a little bit of a different colored wood. And it's really not different wood. It's just the dark oak looks kind of strange in this lighting. And we do have these right here. I actually put 2 here, one for cosmetic and one for functionality. This was going to originally be a waterway that carried our items. I'm thinking now that I have this, I may be able to avoid that but it does have to wrap all the way around so that it goes into our items. It's been lagging pretty hard here on the server, so this chest has stayed open, but I'm going to keep working with this. Hopefully getting all the items into the hoppers and then getting my item transportation system done. I have done quite a bit of work. I have been working on a good design, and as you can see, it looks a little bit different from what we originally had planned, but I finally have my items into the item frames. That took a little bit because I had to redo the actual chest system a few times. Yeah, I worked on this about 3 times. I reconstructed all of the stuff, and finally we have a design we're going to go with. You may notice there's no item frames on these. These are going to be my miscellaneous chests. And over here, you may notice that we have quite a bit of automation going on in the background. I'm going to kind of show you, give you a sneak peek to show you what it is. Back here, I want to call these things stopper clocks because the redstone initiates a lock to one of the hoppers until the comparator detects an update that goes around into a clock-like shape. Like this module looks kind of like a plus sign, and it has an extra block right here. So this is kind of like a clock that runs in back to the torch, deactivates it, and activates the hopper, which gives us a nice stop for our items. This is how the items get sorted. It's a little bit messy back here, but this is going to be covered up, and I'm thinking that looks pretty good. And this is a 2-module setup, something I was kind of hesitant on doing because it required so many hoppers. We have hardly any iron left, but it's looking pretty good. All I have to do now is take these snowballs here and put them all together inside of the actual hoppers and then get my items all sorted up. I'm thinking this is probably going to be the most relaxed part since I know I don't have to really do anything over again. But I'm just going to go ahead and climb up here and get started on it. It is currently the next day, and I can officially say I have this thing complete. It is fully functional now, and as you can see, we have an item elevator running up to our hopper system, which snakes around and comes back down to this area right here. Now I'm going to be giving this a test, and you guys will see it in action, and we can go check the items as well. In my inventory, we have some hoppers here, but I may have some in there. I have 12 hoppers in there. I have some left over. I've used all the iron over at the iron farm, but I had AFK'd overnight, so we do have about 9 stacks over there. So let's go ahead and put these items in here. Now, the great thing about this is a trap chest, so as soon as I exit the chest, these items will be lifted off. I do this because I may drop an item in here. I'm like, oh, I don't need that back, and pull it back in my inventory before it goes into the hopper system. But as you can see, it is working, and you can see it in action through the actual tunnel there. And it goes up to the hopper system, and I will give it a minute, and we will go scouting. Now, I should probably go ahead and mention that I did put some other stuff in there to test it earlier, so there may be a little bit more than what I had put in some of these, but I'm pretty sure I hadn't had logs. So we do have 9 logs in there, and that's supposed to be 10. I put 10 of each item. I think one's getting trapped because I don't have the correct tick on my redstone repeaters, which doesn't make a big deal to me. I can miss out on one item as long as it's not like my diamonds and stuff. I'll probably have to go down there and adjust the tick of that redstone repeater. I think you're going to have that 2 ticks for it to all go in. I'm not absolutely sure how that works, but hey, one item loss, or when it does flow into the chest when we get more in there, is fine with me. And some people may be concerned with the speed of this item elevator. It's not a rapid fire in one. I don't need a rapid fire in one. I'm thinking this gets the job done, because as soon as I put my items in here, I'm just going to be running around the base, and it's going to be ticking anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. And some other people may be concerned about the design itself. Now don't worry, I'm not going to be going full andesite. I have just decided to do this as like an industrial area. Since this is our item elevator, this is going to be some extra storage, and we will have ourselves a very nice storage room once it's all complete. I am going to be decorating this room up. Unfortunately, this episode I will not be doing this item elevator because that's a whole new system of its own that I've got to implement into the hopper system above. But it's looking pretty nice. Let's go ahead and check it out here and see how these items have flown. So we do have 22 hoppers in there. Excellent. I think we had 12 hoppers in there to begin with. And then we also put in some redstone dust right here. We do have 9 redstone dust in there. And I think I had put some gunpowder in there. Very nice. And I also earlier put in some slabs, which I haven't even checked. We have all of our slabs in there. So it's working really nicely. And another thing I'd like to check is the miscellaneous right here. This is a very important part because you don't want it to overflow. But these are some of the items that we do not currently have inside of our chests and our hopper system and our item sorter. And anything that isn't sorted will be going to these chests and fill these up, and I can empty them manually. I'm not too worried about that if it does get to that, because I am going to be making use of the item sorter, but it's probably not going to overflow. Because with the categorizations, I mean, how many of these do you need? You know, like an oak log, do you need a full double chest of it? It may be a little bit different with like cobblestone or some of those things, but I'm planning to keep the cobblestone more in the mining areas and not really for the item sorter, because this is primarily for decorative purposes, putting decorative blocks and things like that in there. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and work on the design of this room, and I think I will start with the floor. So I have noticed that this looks very nice. And let's go ahead and put our not cobblestone in there. We need to go ahead and put some dark oak in here to match up that flooring. But something has worked out really nicely. As you can see, the step has come down to the slab, and that's kind of like a seamless transition when you step up. It's not very noticeable when you do step down. It's kind of subtle, and I'm thinking I really like that. It makes it look cool. And I have decided to go with the birchwood because it flows into our sandstone, making it look a little bit more natural when it does flow from area to area. Next up, I think we need to patch up some of this wall work and get the ceiling taken care of. I'm thinking it's complete. Don't be alarmed if you hear zombies. We're actually pretty close to the surface, but we are completely done with this area. It's fully functional, ready to go, and we can come in here and use this now. I just got to work on this item elevator at some point. Probably won't be doing it next episode, because, I didn't know if I was going to get this done. I was struggling with it quite a bit, but this room is looking pretty nice. Now, I have been thinking maybe we could put like a workstation here for our item storage system, because this could be potentially like an auto furnace of some sort, maybe like a larger one. The only thing is it may run into this room, which is not particularly good. But I'm thinking it looks pretty good. If you guys have any suggestions for this wall, though, let me know, because I just think it looks kind of bland and repetitive. It's not really my style of building. So I think the last thing we need to do is go ahead and put our chest in here, and I have one more thing to do before the episode's up. You guys may have noticed that my inventory is much cleaner than previous episodes. I've been trying to aim to keep my inventory clean. I believe this storage system may have initiated some kind of resolution, because I need to start cleaning out the inventory, keeping it clean and organized, because you work better. Whenever your inventory is organized and you know what you're doing, things feel much cleaner. You feel like you have more time and much more organization skills. So it just feels better when you're building, and it doesn't get overwhelming. Some of these projects, especially like the item sorter itself, is pretty overwhelming, and you need organization. But I've only got a few more logs to get, so let's go ahead and grab those, and I will head back over to the base. Thankfully, I had some trap chests left from my good old storage system. That's the thing. When you get to big projects like that, this makes it much easier when you have leftover stuff. That way you can continue on and continue making cool contraptions. So we do have a few chests here. I don't know if this is going to fill it up. It may be perfect, may not. Yeah, I think it's going to be a perfect fit. If we jump up here and then do that, then we should be able to bring these down. Now, you may notice these are manual chests, and that's the way I intended them to be. Something manual to place all of our junk in, and that should be good. Wow, I cannot believe we just got the right amount there. I about didn't get it. But wow, this is looking pretty neat. I think that looks really neat. And wow, I mean, just looking back of all the work I've done, and the off camera and all of that, it really was a daunting task, and now we have it done, and we have ourselves a very nice clean storage system. Man, I'm feeling pretty good, but I'm thinking we need to go over to our base and check out the shop and see how it's doing. I'm in here trying to look at my shop, and I have a bunch of mobs running around really ruining my style. But as you can see in this area, we have terraformed it a bit, or I have. I got on one night and I was playing a little bit, and I'm thinking Pickle and Toucanes will finally start playing on the server again. It's been maybe about 2 or 3 days since they've been doing some vanilla work. I didn't think Toucanes was on yesterday, but they've been having some issues with their YouTube channels. I don't really know exactly how to explain it, so I think I'll leave it to them. I'm thinking Pickle is doing something about it today. But we are at our drop shop, which I need to make some kind of banner of some sorts. I'm thinking about using the banners that you can make in Minecraft, but I'm not absolutely sure. I may even just do like a logo on top. If we go into our shop, we should be able to see if we've got... Ooh, we did make a sell. We've got 4 diamond there. Anything in the bone chest? Unfortunately not. So someone has been making purchases, and I must say that is very nice. Let's go ahead and put this into our end chest, and we can call that one a success. Very nice. I've just got to say, snow looks so cool when you're flying through the air with an elytra. It looks so warm and Christmassy. I think next season, which there is going to be multiple seasons of this survival world, we are going to be making new worlds and create new things. But I'm thinking about doing like a snow biome next season. But I think that's going to be about it, and I think it fulfills what we were looking for this episode. So guys, you have a fantastic day, and we'll see you in the video later down the road. And remember, if you have any suggestions for that item sorter room, let me know. I'll see you guys later.